welcome to another episode of Satisfying Static, where as soon as I start talking, the corgi starts click-clacking away because she knows that I'm recording.
Oh, Willow.
She did it to me all day today when I was recording content for that brand deal I have. She would just be sitting still. I'd be on my phone, and then she would go, "Oh, you're recording? Click, 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 click." I'm like, "Are you kidding? Are you kidding? You're joking." She'd be like, "Oh, I smelled something in the kitchen. Didn't you? Didn't you hear? Didn't you?"
Obviously, needs to be moving.
And yes, make all the sound. So that's where I'm at.
Yeah, I mean, I get it. I think pets just have like a sense that they need to be annoying in that moment, because Murray does the same thing. As soon as I'm on a meeting or recording, he'll just show up.
Yeah, he'll just meow. He'll just meow into his little heart's content.
Yeah, and he'll just jump on my computer. So that's real fun on meetings when I'm trying to like sound professional and my cat's ass is now all of a sudden also in the meeting. Because we are a cameras on culture.
Oh, no.
Yeah.
Tell me that's the sentence. Is that the sentence they gave you? We are camera on. Oh, no.
Yeah, welcome to the world of work from home, which is fine. Like, I don't mind that. It's just literally extremely annoying when your cat jumps into the screen. Like, great, Murray. I have a spray bottle next to me while I'm at meetings for this reason, but that also can be difficult to manage, like, off screen while I'm trying to look professional and like spray my cat.
Yeah. I'm staring straight at you, but you're seeing my whole upper body shake.
Yeah.
Spray this.
Yeah, like, please don't pay attention to me handing off a spray bottle to myself, and ignore that sound, by the way.
Well, and then it's so much worse when whoever's in the meeting stops the meeting and is like, "Are you okay? Just checking in. Christine, you good? Everything okay?" And I'm like, yeah. No, stop looking at me, okay? I'm trying to like blend in as best as I can here. Stop.
Right, can we all ignore it? One time, though, it was adorable because somebody asked, like, my coworker that, and he was like, "Oh, yeah, no, I'm fine. I'm sorry. I just, like, work with a dog in my lap." It was so cute, and he just, like, picked up his little dog and showed us and was like, "Yeah, she just likes to be warm, just, like, works in my lap." We were just adjusting. I would have never known. Christine is listening to an automated message.
Oh my God. The problem is, it's their, like, feedback number or whatever, and I just needed to make sure that it wasn't my plastic surgeon trying to call and make an appointment, my breast surgeon, and I'm trying to get in to see my plastics guy as, like, a last, "Hey, we're all on the same page, you're giving me normal nipples, right?" Conversation. And so I had to, like, you guys couldn't see, but Maggie was telling a lovely story, and then I had to put my finger up and say, "Hang on," and answer an automated call, because I can't tell if it's automated or the real office, and I needed to talk to the real office, and it was automated and unimportant. So
that's all right. Hopefully they call you soon. Do you have a date set for that? I forgot.
August 21st. Yeah, August 21st.
Damn, soon.
Yeah, so soon. I just went and met my new surgeon because my original surgeon got a promotion / transition job. So she passed me off to another surgeon. Met the new surgeon. New surgeon is lovely. She's confident that August 21st will be fine, that we'll have the appropriate, everything will go through insurance okay and everything else. And I just got a buddy of mine who works from home nearby. I texted him and was like, "Hey, Olivia would feel a lot better if I had somebody nearby on standby for when she goes back to work in case I need something.
Fair.
Do you mind being that person?" And he was like, yeah, no problem. It's like, great. It took a lot to get me to ask. So.
Oh, that's cute. Yay. Proud of you for asking for help when you needed it. And yay for having friends that love you.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I'm really not looking forward to being off for 5 weeks. I took 5 instead of 4 because Olivia got the theater gig, and her opening weekend would have been the weekend I was going back. And I was like, there's no way I'm going to get my first weekend off after being back. So I just added another week to make my recovery time 5 weeks instead of 4.
Okay, fair enough. Sounds like a good idea, honestly, after a surgery like that.
Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of tissue. I'm a 36 double D right now, and it will be gone.
Ooh.
So,
whew. Is your whole like posture gonna change?
I hope so. My upper back posture is so bad, it quite literally pulls me forward. By the end of the day, I'm almost in like a total C shape. It's like, it's nuts. It's bad.
No, I believe it. I'm not envious of you. Those things are heavy.
They're heavy, and mine have, not to be super weird, but mine have an extreme fibrous like edge to them, which is normal tissue for people, but so mine almost look squared off. So they pull down heavy and they almost square off on the edges, and it makes it for like more dense tissue. It just sucks. It just sucks.
Your whole life is going to be so different.
I'm so excited. I'm honestly so excited. I am so excited the surgeon that I talked to was like, your risk decreases by 95%. So your risk becomes, 1 or 2%
Yeah.
compared to even the national average is like 18% or whatever. She's like, I was like, great. I'm going to feel significantly better about this. My back is going to feel better. I'm going to feel lighter. My clothes are going to fit better in better spots. Like, it's just, I'm excited. I'm excited to get rid of them.
Bye-bye, boobies. We should throw a party.
We should. I was trying to think if there's any other housekeeping for me. I shared this on socials, but there is right now a teacher and student discount for Target of 20% off. I am not a teacher or a student, but I do precept PA students. So I used a pay stub that the PA school paid me, and I qualified for the teacher discount of 20% through Target, which is between now and August 26th. And I combined that with some gift cards, and I bought myself an Xbox One X. Or an Xbox Series X. I'm upgrading from the One.
Oh, that's how you got your deal. Got it.
Yes, I paid $315 after taxes. It was going to be $499 before taxes, $537 after taxes. So I went from $537 to $315, which is pretty impressive.
That's a very good deal. Yeah, I saw your snap earlier and was very proud of you. I thought Christine bought an Xbox at like 7 in the morning. And was very proud of that price. But wow, you did some work to get there. I thought it was just like a special.
No, I did. And it's it takes like a long time to transfer all that data over. So I wanted to go get it early in the morning so that I could start it and have it be going all day, so that come nighttime we'd be able to use it, because that's where all of our entertainment is pretty much on our Xbox. So
okay, that makes sense. Oh
yeah. So I did that. And I think that's all my housekeeping.
Well, very proud of you for doing things in the appropriate order today. That's like a big deal when you have ADHD. That's like a good day.
Huge deal. Yep. It really set the rest of the day up for success. I did that, and then my content creation, and then found old medical records to send my current doctor to get my prior auth for my Vyvanse set through.
Look at you.
Yeah. Yep.
Your meds were working hard today.
They really were. I did some other kind of random productive things throughout the day, so it was nice. It was nice.
Nice. Okay, good. I'm glad it's been a good day. Proud of you.
Thank you. What's your housekeeping?
I'm still battling the stray cat situation. So Christine gave me a great tip earlier to see if there's any places around me that do capture, neuter, and release.
Yeah, it's like trap and neuter or trap and spay, where they literally just trap, feral or stray cats, do this, then they either re-release them to the street or they have someone who's willing to take them and rehab them. But they like basically do the procedure and then they stay with them, care for them, and then after they're all healed up, they like put them back out and they put like a little notch in their ear so that if somebody else traps them, they know that cat has already been brought up to down shots, spayed, neutered, or whatever, and re-released.
So I had no idea that existed. So hopefully that's helpful information for anybody else listening too, because if you live in a city or populated area, actually anywhere, you probably deal with stray cats, right? So
yep.
Hopefully there's like a lot of these around, but I'm gonna look into that and see, because I thought one of the neighbors would take them, but it seems like nobody's interested anymore. And Murray has been a meanie. I overheard the neighbors talking the other day. And like I've heard them biting. Like you can hear them biting it's not called a gangway if you're not from Chicago. The space in between houses.
Oh, like the alley?
Like the walkway.
Right. So not technically an alley because you can't drive through it, but I would arguably call it part of an alley.
But like, like going to the alley, right? Like going in between houses to the alley, that space. I'm from Chicago. We call that a gangway. I learned the hard way. That's not a word everybody uses everywhere. Look
when you say weird. Them, you mean
the rest of the world.
No, the two cats are who's fighting, not your neighbors.
Oh, the cats. Yeah, sorry. So the cats, I've been hearing the cats fighting here and there. So I know that like Murray's been just a little jerk. But I was overhearing the neighbors talking the other day, and she was like, yeah, I watched Murray push him off the balcony.
Your cat's a bully.
And I was like, no. And I heard her that day because he was being such a dick and he was being so mean. This cat was like screaming all over the balcony. And then finally they had stopped. So I was like, oh God, okay. Like maybe he'll come back. And then I heard the neighbor go, Murray, no. And I was like, oh my God, what? But I didn't hear any cat like yelling or anything. So I was like, okay, they sound fine. I don't know. So I just kind of waited. Murray came back. He looked fine. And the other cat came back eventually. He looked fine. So I was like,
oh my God.
I don't know what happened. But then, yeah, apparently he was like looking over the edge and Murray just shoved him off of the balcony.
Oh my God.
He jumped on someone's car.
Oh my God. Arrest Murray right now for attempted murder. Ridiculous.
Murray is terrible. Murray is a bully. So I cannot keep this cat because Murray is a bully and Murray has always been a bully. I don't know why I thought maybe in his old age he'd become nice somehow. When he used to live with a German Shepherd and this German Shepherd was terrified of him, like would not walk past him in the hallway terrified of him because he was just a dick. Like he would just come up behind him and smack him for no reason.
Yeah, I have the same delusions about Harriet. She's 3 and she's also extremely mean. But I keep telling Olivia, I'm like, eventually she's going to be lovely.
Nice.
She's going to be such a sweet kitten.
No. But the thing is, like, he's my jerk. You know what I mean? Like, he's the cuddliest, loviest. Like, he makes me carry him around all the time. Like, he loves to snuggle with me. He wants to be around me all the time. We go on walks around the neighborhood. Like, I can handle Murray. But he is a dickhead. He's quite the piece of shit sometimes.
So if anybody has any other good tips that don't involve something catastrophic happening to this other cat, that would be helpful. Yeah. Because we don't really know what else to do with this cat.
I need to act on it, like, now. I was honestly, I was even asking, like, talking to the neighbors, like, hey, you know, like, I don't have a car, so it makes it kind of hard to, like, get to the vet and stuff, but we should probably check if he has a chip. And, like, just people were nobody was interested in helping, so.
There might also be, like, a vet on the go situation.
Oh, I could look that up. I mean, I can also, like, if I think Uber or Lyft will let you take animals, too, especially if you're like going to a vet. So I think I can also do that, do my due diligence.
I think cats are okay as long as in a carrier.
Right.
I think loose dogs is a kind of a different animal. Well, it is a different animal, but also a different problem.
Got you. But I do have a cat carrier, so like if anything I can just put him in that, but I can't like keep him trapped in that in my apartment all day long. So
right.
I was hoping one of the other neighbors would be interested in keeping him, but all of us have cats already and he's not fixed and none of the cats are willing to accept him. So he needs a home and I guess that's what I'm doing now.
Rough.
It's all right. We'll find him a good home. I'll figure it out. I mean, there's resources out there. I just like don't want him to end up in a shelter.
Right.
But yeah, so that's the cat update.
The last piece of housekeeping that I'm realizing I didn't say is that me and Olivia went on our mini moon. It was lovely. We're back. The Catskills were a lot of fun.
So pretty.
We did the clay workshop, the pottery workshop.
Oh, how was that?
It was lovely. I made 2 coasters.
Okay.
And a contact solution and toothbrush holder like tray thing.
Cute.
Those were my pieces, and Olivia made a planter and a candle holder.
Cute.
The lady ended up being super nice. It was in her backyard, which is like this, studio space, which was cool. It was a great time. The only negative that happened was on the car ride back to our place, because it was about an hour drive away. I felt something crawling on me, and so I put my hand on my neck and I grabbed whatever was crawling on me.
No.
And I thought it was going to be an ant, and I looked at my thumb and it had way more legs than an ant. And it was a tick.
Oh.
And so I immediately pointed towards Olivia and I was like, do something with this, please. Kill it, please. So she attempted to smash it against my thumb with her shoe and then got it on the ground and then it was a whole thing.
I was scraping it off of her thumb.
Okay, I'm sorry. She was attempting to use her sandal to scrape it off my thumb in a way that awfully felt like she was pushing it against my thumb. But anyway, it's neither here nor there.
Did you get it off? What happened?
Yeah, I got it off. The tick still had its head, so it hadn't bit anywhere or anything.
Okay.
We got to the rental, and we both got stark naked in the front room.
Checked
and
everything.
Just checked everywhere.
Okay.
Yeah, checked everywhere. Checked shoes, checked everything, and no other ticks. That was my first New England tick experience.
Gross. I hate ticks. Ticks are terrible. And you had no bites? You had no bite marks? No nothing?
No, we have a few bug bites because this yard was super overgrown, but I don't think they're tick bites. They look more just like standard mosquito situations.
Okay, fair enough.
We'll see if we start to have fever, headaches, chills, stiff neck, swollen lymph nodes, all the Lyme symptoms. Ironically enough, this month's video, one of them for GoodRx, is Lyme disease. So, worked out.
Tis the season to be careful of that. Yeah, in my past life with my old dog, I used to take him to this forest preserve dog park. It was like fenced in so he could run free. Constantly had to check him for ticks. He was always having a couple, but then we would go down to Tennessee in the summers. And like he would come back with like little black spots all over him, all over his legs and stuff. I like totally would make my ex's mom take him off because like I couldn't deal with it. He like every time he would go outside and come back inside, we had to pick like 10 ticks off of him. I was constantly checking myself, constantly, all the time. I was so paranoid.
No, thank you.
The amount of times that I went to the dog park, was driving home on the street and almost got into a car accident because I just found one on me and started screaming and trying to figure out how to get it off of me.
Rough.
Hated it. I was so happy to move to a climate where that's not as big of an issue.
Yeah, no, seriously. The Eastern Seaboard, specifically New England in general, has a ton of ticks.
They're so gross. I can't.
They're very gross.
I can't.
Now that we are barreling through this episode, we should probably get to an actual word, huh?
There's going to be a lot of cuts because of the freezing.
There is going to be some cuts from the freezing. There's going to be some cuts from a lot of Willow's click-clackiness. She's click-clacking away over there. Sorry, you guys are just going to have to hear it when I'm talking because she can't stop click-clacking. Oh, boy. So first word. I was like, I can't think of like a beat at all. A melody.
For a second, I just thought that like you were having like a brain freeze, like you wanted to say something. You're like, wait a minute. I was like, what am I waiting?
I mean, I was to try and think of a sound, but the first word is raid or rotted.
I don't know if I like the second version, but probably because we were just talking about ticks. Raid made me think of like bug spray.
No, 100%. That was exactly where I was going to go. I was like, yeah, and immediately I think of Raid, where the logo is the dead ant on his back.
Yeah. Just absolutely connected those two beautifully. The only other thing it really makes me think of is swatting.
Oh, yeah. For those of you that don't know what swatting is, it's where you call in a fake bomb threat or violence threat on somebody else and their address so that they are stormed with SWAT teams to raid their homes.
Which is reckless and dangerous.
Yeah, very reckless, very dangerous. People have died from accidental swattings, or not accidental, but prank swattings, like people getting other people swatted. There's been some popular creators on TikTok who have been swatted.
Yeah, because wasn't that like a trend for a minute to like get people swatted while they were live streaming or something?
Right. So a ton of gamers started doing it. So if you were Twitch streaming as a gamer, somebody would try and get you swatted while you were streaming to like cause a joke or whatever. I believe one of them got prison time for doing it. So the kid that got swatted, his dad was like in the kitchen with a knife. And so when they swatted his house, they like just shot him. So the kid that called the SWAT got time in prison.
Oh my God. I didn't hear about that one.
Hang on. We're going to look it up.
There's definitely a documentary. I don't know if it's Hulu or Netflix, but one of those that talks about that, and not that specific incident, but swatting and some people getting prison time and swatting going terribly wrong. But I didn't hear about that one. But I'm sure there's lots of horrible incidents that have happened, not to mention it's costly.
Oh, I may have conflated a couple of stories, but so...
Interesting.
A 19-year-old was one of 3 defendants in case of swatting, making a false report at a police somewhere that led police to erroneously shoot and kill a 28-year-old at his front door in December 2017. He was one of the co-defendants to make the call because of an argument over an online video game, an argument that turned out not to even have involved the suspect.
Well, that's sad.
Dispatchers reported that the caller said he shot his father in the head and was holding his mother and brother at gunpoint. Caller also warned he wanted to kill himself and light the house on fire. Yeah, so they went in there thinking that this guy was this person doing this.
Right, but that wasn't the case.
But as soon as he opened the door to the 911 call, they opened fire and they killed him. So don't SWAT, people. That's not cool.
Incredibly dangerous, sounds like. So... cool. That took a turn. How about a different word?
Yeah. Okay. I was going to say the only other thing that Raid makes me think of is the Raiders and how they just moved from Oakland to Vegas and how Vegas is just collecting sports teams like baseball cards.
What? Are they?
Yeah. Well, the Oakland A's, so the Oakland Raiders just moved to Vegas, and now the Oakland A's baseball team also wants to move to Vegas. They got the hockey team expansion. They have a football team. Now they're trying to collect a baseball team. Do they have a basketball team yet?
I don't know. Wait, what's the football team?
The Raiders.
Oh, okay, yeah. What? Interesting.
So they don't have a, so they don't have a basketball team yet, but I'm sure that's on the way.
Okay, so they're trying to have all the sports.
The Vegas Golden Knights hockey team exploded, did very well, brought in a ton of revenue, brought in a ton of interest from the league. I mean, they won the Stanley Cup last year.
You know, I know nothing about this. I mean, interesting, but
Well, the Stanley Cup is the hardest trophy/award in all of sports to win, and Vegas won it. It's a big deal.
Big deal. Big deal. Yeah. Is that why so many people were like pressed to like touch the thing when it was in Chicago?
Yes. So the Stanley Cup is also one of the only awards/things you can win that goes on a tour. So every player of the team gets a day with it. And so it goes all across the country, all across the world. It's got its own team that travels with it, like these two guys that are very specifically attached to it that travel with it.
Oh my God, it has bodyguards?
Yeah, very big deal. Very big deal. And the whole team's name gets etched into the cup. And only a handful of times has somebody's name been removed.
Ooh.
And to remove it, you just stamp X's over top of the name that was there.
Really? They don't like buff it out and replace it? They're like...
There's no way to do that. This cup is literally, oh boy, now I gotta look that up. How old is the Stanley? And they just add on to it every year. It was first awarded in 1893. So it is over 100 and some odd years old.
Jesus.
Yeah. 7 to get to 1900. So 107. It's 130 years old.
That's a really old cup.
Yeah. Started out as truly just a cup. And now it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger.
Fascinating.
They just add rings at the bottom, and then you pick it up, and everybody like puts it over their head and skates around, and it's a big deal. It's a big deal. Anyway, this is all to say, Vegas is growing its sports franchises, and they're doing a pretty good job of it. And that's what I think of when I think of Raiders, is the Oakland Raiders and how they ended up there.
Interesting. We learned a little bit about sports history today. Appreciate that. I have nothing to contribute there.
Yeah. It's okay. It also makes me think of Tomb Raider, which was an excellent video game.
I do have things to contribute there.
Great. The movie was okay. Angelina Jolie, killer every time.
Yeah.
The rest of the movie, subpar.
Yeah, I agree. Definitely not my favorites. I will say Tomb Raider is like the first video game that scarred me for life. Do you? Because I played like the original on like PlayStation 1 because I'm old, FYI.
It's like third person, look over the shoulder camera angles.
Yeah.
And so it's very boxy movements.
Yes. Except for when you kill her accidentally.
Oh, yeah.
She'll like turn around and look you in the face and like strangle to death.
Yeah. When you walk in one of the booby traps, you mean?
Yeah. Or like I was terrible at swimming, so she would always drown and she would look you in the eyes. And I couldn't, like, after that, for the longest time, I like wouldn't touch games like that because I was like, I can't be responsible for this character's life.
God.
Like, I can't deal with the guilt of killing this person over and over and over again.
That's so funny. No, Tomb Raider was an awesome game series. I actually never really got into it because the movement was so hard for me. So I played that kind of movement in Resident Evil and I wasn't good at it. But in Tomb Raider, you had to both be good at it and figure out how to climb things and figure out puzzles. And I'm like, I can't fucking do this. I can't.
Yeah. I liked that part. I spent so much time just like roaming her mansion and the grounds.
Oh, yeah.
Because you could just like figure out puzzles or do like little games or just like climb shit. And like, really, that's all I wanted to do. And like the levels were that but harder. And then there was danger. And I was like, I don't want to kill her. I just want to like explore weird lands and open a box.
For whatever reason, I remember this moment of like falling off of a high ledge and the whole screen just goes bright red. And then it just says like dead across it or like continue or like something along those lines. And it's like a blood curdling scream. She's like, "Aah!" Dead. And I was like, oh.
I feel like it wasn't a very violent game and the levels weren't honestly that hard. But like anytime you killed her, like they made you pay for it. Like, oh, we're going to scar you for this one.
Yeah. You know, Resident Evil is the same kind of thing where like you'd have a zombie just attack and like start gnawing on your chest and you would just watch them gnaw on your chest. And it was like a terrible like, oh, dead. And you're like, oh my God.
Right, but that game is like violent. Like you expect, I feel like you...
And supposed to be scary, yeah.
Right, and it's supposed to be scary. I felt like Tomb Raider was supposed to be like an adventure game, and it was like the one game I felt was like sort of acceptable for like girls and boys. I don't know, that was like a weird time where I felt like girls didn't really play video games.
Correct.
And I was like, oh my God, is this why girls don't play video games? It's violent.
I have a lot of issues with their costume decisions for her, though. Practicality. You're not going to wear a cargo short that comes up to half your thigh. You're
Right.
just not. You're not going to go gallivanting through Costa Rican jungles in a fucking tank top.
For the ticks alone.
Right. Or the poisonous spiders or whatever. You're also not going to roll into one of these tiny towns with your like holsters exposed of you just like packing heat. Like, you are not that person. The only believable part about that whole outfit was her braid. I was like, yes, a braid is practical.
Keep her.
That's it.
Yeah, keep her hair out of the way. Yeah, I mean, definitely her outfit didn't make any sense practically. But as someone who grew up on superheroes, I was like, oh yeah, this right, big boobs and guns. That's right.
Right. Yeah, and she was like a 36 double D, and the poor girl always looked like she was gonna fall out. I'm like, you wouldn't wear that to the fucking jungle.
Proportionately, like, I don't think as a human being she could stand. She was like Barbie doll proportions. Like, I don't
100%.
I don't think she could be actualized. So yeah, I hear you. That was definitely a very specific gaze. And I'm glad those times have changed. But also as a closeted gay woman, I was fine with it.
Well, yeah, no, same, right? Like, sure. That's why any fighting game ever that had a female character, you were like, okay, I could see how impractical this is, but also, I'm not mad.
Yeah. Also, okay, cute.
Right. Sure. Could there have been better choices? Yes.
Right. Do I feel empowered? No. But is that the point? No. So.
Torn between my gender and my sexuality.
Yeah.
Tough.
It's a tough place to be in. Yeah, all the time. But yeah, so that was my 2 cents. Scarred me for a long time. I only played Spyro.
Did you watch the movie?
After that.
I love Spyro.
I did. Spyro was the best. I did watch the movie, but I don't remember a lot of it.
So Angelina Jolie is obviously the high point, but they also did a pretty good job with her mansion. They like gave her this absurd mansion, and she had like all these toys, right? Like all these motorcycles and like weird structures in the mansion that you could tell like clearly didn't belong there, like had a purpose of some sort. So that was cool.
I think I do remember that. Yeah, because like at least, I mean, I stopped playing it obviously, but at least the first game, and from what I remember of the second game, her mansion was a huge part of it. That was like I don't know, I mean, I spent a lot of time in it again, but like that was like a huge part of the game, was just like getting more shit for your mansion or unlocking different parts of your mansion.
Yeah. And the whole plot is supposed to be that her dad leaves her behind all these clues to go find the last thing that he like didn't find.
Right. That's right. Yeah. Forgot about that. Never got that far.
Well, I think we can stop there. As we do another word, we're going to go into uncharted territory.
Overtime. No, I was waiting for you to wrap it up back to the first word that I already forgot.
The first word's the same word, raid. It's been raid the whole time. We just had 18 minutes of housekeeping.
Really? No.
Yeah, no joke. Yeah, we had 18 minutes of housekeeping.
Oh,
yeah.
You're right. We never went to a second word. Look at me go. Wow.
And so after saying the second word, I was like, oh, but raid makes me think of Tomb Raider.
Right.
And then we went on that.
Well, and the Raiders, I think. Yeah, we went from sad to not, and then we didn't have to switch words. Got it. All right. Well, on that note.
Right, because we initially were talking about swatting. Okay, great. Yeah, so we really came full circle. You're so welcome for our 18 minutes of housekeeping if you're still here.
It will be less than that when they listen, so it's fine. Probably.
That's true. It will probably be less than 18 minutes, and this episode will probably be shorter than you even think it is. So
Surprise, we don't even know yet.
We don't.
But anyway, until next time.